about having personal projects. And then we also have that conversation in class to go where you don't have questions. Okay, so let's start our database for today. So on top, like we in our previous lab, we already suppose if you still have some problem, install your MySQL. Let me know. Okay, I will come to help you. And for today, like we learned a really basic slash statement, like slash and then from, right? It's a basic structure. And this week lab, we will on top, we will add more stuff on it. Okay, so the first one we have is the aggregates, and then another one is the grouping. Okay, and it's so easy when you look at the sample. It looks pretty easy, but when you really do that, I think it's pretty challenging. Okay, most of the time I will give you the lab, and then just like last time, what we did. I will give you like 5 questions, and then you try to show the result. Okay. And for this time, we will learning what's the aggregate functions in SQL, and then we will learn how to use group by. Okay, grouping similar column. Okay, so we can use it to summarize data, and also we will learn another one. We're using conditions where. Okay, I think some of you, if you know where condition, and then we do have a filtering group also using having. Okay, so it's a kind of like similar to where, but later you'll know like when we should use where, when we need to use having. Okay. And how can we apply? And also we're learning how to joining tables. Okay. Before you're just selecting from one single table. Then how about if we need to select a multiple column or joining the data together from multiple tables? How can we do that? And just telling pretty common function we'll use like once count. Okay, so what's the meaning? We are counting all the row or the records. Okay, so do we remember what, or do you know what's the meaning of row or record? They meaning the same. Yes, if I say record, it means the row. Okay, so we have multiple names. Sometimes we say attributes, column. Okay, so it means the same. Okay, so when we using it for count, so it's just counting just like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so how many rows or how many records will be count? Some. Okay, so if you don't put any condition, so we'll sum all the value together. If you're using group by, then you only like sum adding all those like similar group values together, accumulate. Okay, and FH, minimum maximum, I think is pretty straightforward, right? FH, yeah. So also we can apply this function to grouping. Okay, and also we can apply minimum and selecting minimum and maximum from among all this value. Okay, and you can try later, like if you want to select like what's the maximum value, what's the minimum. And we are working with sometimes like you need to choose like when should we using where condition and having condition. So once we combine everything, blend everything together, it's challenging. Okay, and here's a sample function you can use if you want to count. Okay, so you can pass in either a star extra or the column ID, any column. Okay, so it depends on which column are you going to select. Okay, if we normally maybe we are selecting from the ID. Okay, because we have different table. Each table we do have a primary key, right? So we can use it for selecting. So we can put in, let's say we have customer, we can put select customer ID, then we can count it. Or if I want to get the FH price from the products, so we can do it in this way. Or I want to find what's the most expensive, like in English sentence, I want to find the most expensive product. Then we can put max, right? Price from product. So we can do it. Like I want to search like what's the cheapest product, then we can use it using function minimum. Okay, just like this. It looks really simple, right? Okay, and how about group by? So grouping, so we try to group the row, they have same value. Okay, let's say if I want to find the the customer or the maybe the employee sometimes say, okay, so let's say how much they purchase in total, okay, for the customer. So we can group those customer ID together because they do have the same ID. So we can use a group by. So it looks like group by and then giving the column name. And of course, we can give in some function. So if you see, we have some example right here, including like if I want to know the total they purchased, then I can put sum. And then which column? Let's say the price, maybe the price. Then you can add them together. So when we are grouping by the same ID, will be the customer ID. But in practical, then you know how we actually using it. Do you have any question about group by? I think it's pretty straightforward, right? Yeah. Okay. Easy conceptually. And here's the example. Let's say if we try this letting, okay, I want to know from which country. Okay, if you interpret, what's the meaning? Like from this slash statement. If you look at this statement, what it's doing? We do like select country, and then we're using can. We counting the customer ID and telling number of customer from the customer group by country. So what's this SQL doing?
How many customers are from each country?
Oh, yes, how many customers? Yes, yeah, because when you interpret directly, yes, but what's the meaning? Sometimes when we asking question, if you see, like I ask you, yeah, how many customer from which country, right? So we will list it. So we will use, so that's why we're grouping by the country. So we're using can, okay. If we have so many, maybe let's say I want to know like how much did the customer spend of each country, then I can use some way, some adding the total price or somehow like I just assuming because maybe the data set we don't have it, so you need to select more data. So we can interpret. So if you look at this example, you know what's group by doing. By the sequence, we need to put group by behind from. Okay, the basic structure is SQL statement, select, and then all the columns, right? And then from is a basic structure. The syntax is like this, and then we can put group by. And later I will show like if we have where condition, having condition, okay, then how can we like put them together? And then another one compared to where we have having this one is like we need to put it after the aggregation, and also similar to where, but we use it with group by. Okay, most of the time actually make it more accurate. It's like if we're using count sum, we already calculate. We have to counting or doing some calculation of those value, right? Okay, so for the where condition, most of the times like we can select it directly from the table. But if we have some value, we have to like calculate it and then check the result. Then we need to use having. Here's a tricky. Okay, if we have aggregation, let's say count, right? I want to count how many customer ID, and maybe for this one, I want to know, or I want to show. Actually, this is one of the question we're showing you is like, okay, I want to know how many. Let's say right here is like I want to show the country as a customer more than 5. Okay, so if I using where condition, I cannot show it because the aggregation right here can't. We cannot use where condition. You may try to like put where, then you will receive an error. So I will recommend you try to using where condition. You can't get it. So we need to using having. Okay, so usually with the aggregation can, or if you want to check some. Okay, sometimes I want to know the maximum. Sometimes I want to know which item is like have the most is the most expensive item or somehow like match. Then you need to use having. Okay, so you need to put it or like average, or I want to see the product is higher than average. Then you need to use having. and then compare with it. The price is larger or equals to the average of the price like this. Okay, so remember we need to put in having in this way. And then the last part is joining table. Okay, so right here, if you need to select joining two tables, first always giving the table name. Okay, and we giving a dot notation right here, a period right here, and then the column name. Okay, it's a better habit because most of the, if for the column or attributes, they have the same name or the same column name. The database, some database, they will take the first one, okay, but not the MySQL. MySQL, they will have a error if you didn't specific like which. I think if you check your database, let's say we have a customer ID, okay, maybe if you're joining two tables together and then these two tables also have a same attribute name called customer ID, it will have an error because the MySQL don't know like which tables customer ID you want to select from. So that's why we need to like giving a specific customer ID. And then when we joining, later in the lecture, I will talk about what's the we have different join, like we have like left outer join, like right outer join, and then full join. So many joining, but for this one is only joining is like the matching record. Okay. Actually we have two ways to joining table. One is like you can follow. So first one, you select the tables from the left, and then we join another table name on, and then giving a condition. So we try to match their customer ID, customers dot customer ID, orders customer ID. So that's how we connect two tables together. Okay, and we try to group, and we put in the customer dot country. Actually, we have another way to do that, and I will show you. Let's see. So we're doing the same select. Okay. So let's put it here. If you want to try, so if I the update is really hard to read. Okay. So if a customer's dot country, and then I put in can, and then we put the order ID. I don't put the N. From the condition, you can put two tables together. So right here, you can put customers, and then put a comma. Let me move it here. Okay, so don't put customer, and then you can put a comma right here, and then you can put orders. Okay, let me break down. So first select, and then we getting from the two tables, and giving a condition is where we using where condition to join these two tables together. So let's say customer dot we joining by their customer ID equals to orders dot customer ID like this. And then we can reuse like goodbye, same, and then customer. Okay. Here's another way, alternative way to joining two tables. Okay. In this moment, you just need to remember we have two syntax. Okay, two way to do it is same. Okay, but later if we have that called the left outer join, right outer join, or something like that, then we need to put in this syntax, in this way, using join syntax. Okay, but in this moment is full join. Then we just use the where condition to join them together. So you don't have to follow. So you have two ways to do that. Okay, both are acceptable, and then you can get the correct answer. And I will let you try. And when you're doing exercise, I recommend you like try to use this format and also the where condition. This one, okay. And maybe you're confusing, don't know what to do. then the better way is start with a practical. And I will recommend right here, actually I already finished, and you may be not try to do it. Sometimes you may be confused, like which column you need to select. I will always recommend you, because like you have to like click on the columns, checking what's their column names, right? Then sometimes if I want to save time, I want to check what the column name I want to use, I can execute a select start from which table. So I can see what are those like column name. I try to make sure like any typos or which table I'm selecting, like contain some information I need. Okay. So when you look at the question, let's say I want to getting what's the orders per customer? Actually, some in this question cover in backwards, right? You don't know. I didn't really tell you which table, and then how to display all those columns. Okay. So there's no actual answer, but should be make sense. Okay. If I ask you, I want to count the numbers of order per customer. So what kind of information will you tell me? You can give me just a customer ID, or are you going to give me the customer name, or even other information? Okay. But as a minimum, or if I ask you to give me a count, will you give me the customer address to me or customer phone number to me? You won't, right? Or yes, okay. Depends on, but you need to be make sense. Or like I'm looking for the average price of products. Okay, maybe when you're doing assignment or answering doing exams, I ask you to write the SQL. Okay, you maybe just give me the product ID. But if I asking please join the table, or I want to show the give me the product name instead of ID, then maybe you need to join the two tables together and show me the name. Okay. Right here, actually, I have some kind of solution right here. Finished. So but I would recommend you can do it in this way. If I need to join in tables, I would recommend you like step by step. Let's say you try to select certain result as the first step, and then put another SQL, and then adding more, because it will be easier for you doing testing. If you try to put all the condition, all the columns, joining tables, putting having all together in one SQL, and then you couldn't really figure out or doing debugging, because you don't know like which step you have error. Okay, so I recommend to right here I try to let's say for question 2, I will try to select the columns from products and category, and then I showing in the beginning I'm showing the category ID first. Okay, and then I try to show join two tables together and then give the category name. So when you break down into several steps, then it will be better for you for debugging. Okay, and of course, if for submission, I will recommend you like you can hide all these previous step. Just give me the last one. Okay, like match the result. And after I show it, here will be the result. So I giving the category name, and then what's the average price. Okay, if I execute this one. Okay, so I'm only showing the category ID right here. So these are all the exercise combined. So start with like how to using the aggregation, and then using grouping, group by, having, and then last part, join tables. Okay, and okay, let me hide. If later, I also have a week 3 exercise solution, but I think most of you may be able to do that. But I will upload it the SQL, so I can upload the file of the previous week. I think it's better if you want to follow. Yeah. Right here, I think I already save it, so it's right here. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so if you need, so probably for the week 4, then I will upload it next week. So I can let you do it. Okay.
I just I need to fix that charger. Yeah, we went home. I was working on something late last night and I left my charger home. I went home earlier today to go get it and then I got busy with work.
At post, there's Pepsi. Pepsi, I think there's some pins they're missing. So they're not exactly in the same.
Yeah, it's a Thunderbolt, yeah.
Yeah, you know the Thunderbolt for the Pepsi, if you look at the pins, there's some like, some of the pins they're missing.
Are different.
Yes.
No, this one works surprisingly, no, it's funny.
Yeah, right.
It's also funny, 'cause this cable is so small compared to like what a regular laptop would be.
Start with question one. So if you see the question one, so we say can't, right? So of course, we were using can't function, and we say per customer. So when you look at this question, you will, first question we need to ask, which table should we select from? Anybody working on the board? Orders, okay, really good. Yeah, because I don't know, like, some people say, oh, customer, let me go to search the customer, then you never able to find your. So always I go to correct table to find your answer. Just reminding, if you are the MacBook user, and if you are not so sure your MySQL like server is running or not, you can go to setting. And I still learn it. I just update my SQL. So you will find your MySQL server in the bottom. So in case you didn't start yours, you can like stop and start it right here. Go to your setting. Just remind you. This one is for MacBook user. Okay. For the SQL syntax, I think just like roll back to the beginning. Remember, we always start with select. From. Okay. And then here's the table name. Okay. if your MySQL is shows. Okay, if you cannot select your tables, remember, you can use the command right here, use to switch your database. Okay, in case your MySQL is not working. So you can finish for 5.5 in this step. And then later, I will ask you to show more. You right now showing the ID way. If I want to show present better, I want to instead showing put ID, and I want to show name, customer name. How can you do that? Then you need to drop tables.
I don't think order details has names on it, but
Yeah, because if you look at the ID, actually it's not that good, right? Say, yes, you
yes, like employee ID.
um,
That means it.
I'm not. Okay, let's say right here for this one's for question by. Okay, because you are showing the custom ID, but I don't know who. Like you got custom ID just a number. Okay, so for presenting, actually is not that helpful. Because if you are the one within this report, okay, but if you give me a number or if you give me a name, which would be better.
So if you want to cross-reference like customer or something.
Yes, yeah, so if you can tell, yeah, so if you give me the name and then the count, I think it's way better.
So this like. So customer spot. But it's not the, you have to change the from.
Yes, also for, yes.
Okay, I guess I have to go through it first.
Yeah, but this one is slightly complicated, so you can finish like 1 to 5, basic one, and then you can go back to modify it. And here's the syntax to joining two tables. Let me put it right here. It's alternative. Let me create a new one. I try to enlarge it for if you cannot see. So You can finish like question 1 to 5 without joining table. Okay, once you finish all like question 1 to 5, and then try to joining the table. Because I'm asking why is joining table? Let's say for question 1, if you only selecting the ID, actually, yes, you are telling me the result, but actually only ID I don't know who. So maybe as a maybe if you want to present to your manager, coworker, customer, actually, is it better if I show you your customer name or instead of ID? Then how can you present like putting the customer name with the card together? Then you have to join 2 tables together. Okay. If you refer to the slides, is using the join, and this one is the another way alternative. I say okay. So from you need to put 2 tables, or sometimes you can put in, let's say, C. I will keep it later. So if somebody, if you know, I can replace it in this way. But I try not to confuse you. Oh, I'm not doing in this moment. Okay. You can refer to this one, the example. If you finish question 1 to 5, then you can join into tables for better presentation. Question.
So we're gonna keep on.
Sure. I will recommend you can start with the basic one first. Instead of joining table, can you set in the ID and then times right? So right now you don't have to join the table.
Okay.
Yes. You can remove and try this one. Can you show the result? Okay, this is broken. Okay, unknown column. Okay, I'm also trying to read the error message. So right here say unknown column orders, order ID. Yes. So try to select what's the do we have a order ID?
In order ready.
You can click on the column right here or here. So why you don't? So finally you update.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like.
So when you're able to import, it will take the screen. So you're not yet import. Okay, so before you need to hold it. Now here you need to create a new schema. So for new schema, I think that will create. Yeah, it's unconnected. Okay. So first you need to connect to your MySQL server. Yeah. When are you already installed the MySQL? But did you install the community server? Yes. This one. But when you install it, there should be a home country to input the certification. Okay, you know that.
Just open the script, so I show the tables and stuff.
Trying to see the result of it.
I like one.
Yes, okay. So. You just have a reference, especially. Last time we stuck right in. So we're going to install the latest one. I suppose.
Meet in the back.
It's not for you. I could be work. If you have yeah, it's a first. Okay, thank you. Yeah, probably you have not yet installed the server, so wait for it. Anybody finish or questions or stuck? Still stuck at question one? Anybody still in question one?
Just having trouble, looking at the count of the total, but not for individual. What's that customer ID?
Okay, so right now you are selecting everything from all the one, okay? And because we need to do counting by each customer. And based on what we learned, I go through the slides quickly. So how can I know? Because I want to know specific, like counting them together. So what kind of functions, keywords we can use? This we are using count, right? So we count and customer ID.
So that gives us the total. but not-
Okay, total, okay. Then how can we count it by only some of the group? If you check the slides, anything can help. Go back. Go back. Not having, maybe. Goodbye,
Group by customer ID.
yes. Oh, it's like. Oh.
And that displays.
Yes. But why now, actually, I don't know, here is the presentation visual, okay? If you only show me the count, I don't know who they are, or like belongs to, then what is the better way to show me? Maybe I will put the custom ID before the count. So I'm showing, for the select is showing the column, okay, so I will put the custom ID.
Sorry, I sorry, I
Oh,
didn't join.
and then I will send try.
Okay.
Okay, so when I look
Thank
back,
you.
I know
Thank you.
customer two. I found maybe,
And
maybe have one order,
Order
customer,
two.
I three have one order, right, okay?
Mm.
And because right now we using time, so what is number represent, what's the meaning of this
Join
number?
myself.
the number of orders per customer.
Yes, so we, how can we change the column name? Right here, or where should we put that? The eight. Yes, right after the.
This will mean. Maybe.
Check the right here. Okay, looks better, right? Okay, and you can finish from question 1 to 5, and then you can come back, because if I say, okay, because customer ID, actually I don't know which customer. Then
Yeah, you want the name.
Name, then how can I show the name?
Import from probably customers, I would assume.
Yes, so because the customer name from another table, okay, that means we need to draw 2 tables together. Okay.
I remember from the slides, there was like a join.
Yes, also I giving you a sample how to join into, there's a 2 way to join it. One way is table, like combine groups with join right here, right? Or you can use the way I'm showing on the screen. If you can see, you can just come up and check, okay? Yes, yeah. Okay. There's a question one, customer name, yes, as the order. And customer position, ID, yes, and then goodbye, orders, customer ID, yes, all perfect.
And that has like all the different times 800 and stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so it's the correct answer, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, you really did a good job, yeah,
Okay.
that's the first step.
Also,
If you
segment, not like this.
know how to do that, then actually,
Make
you're
it
okay,
Okay.
you're done, okay. If you can like finish like complete the whole cycle like in this way,
And
I will see that your,
Okay.
yeah.
Orders, right, cause.
Yeah, I know
some
some
of this like.
So
Then it's going up to
this
us.
is a good breakdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going to customers, customer ID, like we did over there.
Okay.
Group by-
Okay. Let me say something, okay, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Go to the-
I didn't give you lots of hints because like depends how much you get. Some people, I say some student like can catch it really quick, fast, or can pick it up really fast. Even I give you some example, but if you have no idea, just like step by step. Okay, step one, how can I select the count? Okay, step one, to get a correct answer. And then next, how can I present it better? Okay, how can I show two columns? One is the ID, and the one is the result. Let's say for question one, I'm able to show the count. Okay, then how can I show the ID? I need to put it in front of like select right here. Select is like showing the result. Okay, if I want to show the ID, then I need to select that column, right? If I want to show another column, I have to put it in this like select statement. Okay, from which table? Okay, and then are we going to if you are not joining table, I think in the beginning you don't have to put in where condition. Okay, if you later have you join it, you can use where or using join syntax. So either way will be fine. And when you're doing the SQL, actually not that complicated, but it's like how can you present it better? Okay, after we showing the ID, then we start to think, okay, is it meaningful like showing the ID or really giving a name? Okay, if I need to show the name, how can I get other information? Can I select it from same table or another table? If I need to get it from another table, then we learn how to join the table. Okay, and this is a part for his. Okay, you go. Yes.
Yes, I think this is really close to me too.
Okay, is that two? Okay, select FH price of product.
Okay, let's add a translation. It would just like kind of similar to things like this, again, show effects to the active language.
Yeah, I will ask this question. Yeah, okay. Do you think if you telling me like or giving me the result like this?
Yeah. I don't
If you
think-
tell something it is enough, okay, yeah. So
Right.
always ask a question, is it enough? If no, how can you
I'll
do
make
it?
it more this.
Yes, correct. So right here, because say, okay, I need to show the category ID, at least in this moment, at least I need to tell me, okay, which category, and there was an average cost. So, okay, so this is the second step. Okay, it looks better. Okay,
Yeah.
so but if you look at the order, so am I showing the, yeah, so which one go first? Okay, should be
And that's,
ID.
and that's it would be just like all the line.
Yeah, yeah, you can move. So right now, if you know how to.
Oh.
Should be quite big this.
This is what I have. So, okay. How about this?
Are you having any problem with your order ID? Version one.
Like getting it to display.
The same, that's doable.
Let's try. Okay, no, my message.
It's 17, I know.
You already tried 816. But still,
Oh, are you, you're looking,
okay.
why, you're selecting because IDs are no table? There's no.
Oh, I see, you're using the join try, you mind if I?
Go ahead.
It's right, it's not just on the full branch.
The next one.
No, there's no.
Yeah, it's just like.
Are you?
No, it's like the default, that's why.
Might do.
Sounds like
So I guess what you're trying to do, so question one or two? Okay.
I do.
that's.
Price.
I don't know if you want to install it.
There you go.
I see a group.
It's pulling from the, like, the wrong side.
Or just not in a group or right? Cause it's just, everything's on a category.
If you're pulling everything from just products, then
Maybe they'll.
maybe I just looks like it's enough way on yours, so. I know for sure from looking at the orders, right? What, I'll actually go to.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Look in products first, right? Yeah, what, price
Just
and
go back
bag ready,
the
right?
latest version.
Okay, there we go. So, thanks, guys.
Products,
So no server.
average price of the product.
Yeah, you had to do that.
Again, from products. You did that.
What's
And
the
joy of these products. You don't need joy, because you're importing sand.
Do the, they still have to deal with.
You mean now it's just,
When we do this.
Where?
I think I use where here, I just use where it's just at like 22.
Okay, so
Here's
here's.
like the Joel's experience, you're like, so I don't know why.
So can I give it like a?
That's not enough, right?
Before I use it.
You research it, right?
Like, use average.
Right, if you know, okay, I need to put it here, and then you can ask like, do I really need to put the customized? So either way is fine, because it won't affect you, so you can keep the ID. That means when you know how to simplify, so you can, that's certain tables. And with it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we could be the ones on the, I don't know, that's how it should as well. Let me same syntax. Setting. I will keep it like this one. It right here. Cannot copy it.
But what you continue, I'll do more. Big emergency, some problem emergency, but it's counting everything. As opposed to, what, just, the reason for it.
Okay.
Yeah, just the land, it was.
So when you're working, if you are doing fine, that's okay. Just reminding you, okay. For the SQL statement, we do have a syntax. So we start from select by from, okay, and we will follow by where condition, and then goodbye, having, and I think last week we talked about order by, like doing sorting. Okay, so everything they do have certain order. Okay, so always like where we need to put it kind of like followed by from, and then we can put goodbye having after where condition. Okay. If you get some error, also one of the as a developer, as a engineer, learning how to read the error message. If you get the error message, try to read it. Okay. Sometimes it's because your typo, or sometimes just like you putting the order is like incorrect. Then you need to reorder it. Okay. And by practice, then you can remember. Okay. Yes, this yes is for is an ID. Then we say for each particular application, but not the distribution.
Yeah. Then I'm just like,
Yes, yes, should be the Or if you can find them, yeah, I will have to. Okay, so as like a step two, it should be yes, you can show the customer ID. Just be careful of the name because they you can work to show them. So is it number of customer or what's this number? You said. What is current? We presenting, okay, what's the, after we count this number, what's this number representing? What's the question?
I asked question two.
Do when we count, because, okay, so we try to group by the customer ID one. Okay, then within this group, let's say I have a customer ID one, and then once you group it and then become one, okay, that means we only have one record. Then it is customer, only older ones. Okay, if we can see two, then the older choice. Yeah.
I don't think that's so.
Next, the member ID. Composer. Group by member ID. This one's very, this legend. You can change it later. So each the value. Okay. It was the error. Syntax. So what's the problem? Is syntax. Then component. Okay. From the table products can be.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking. Oh, okay. So I think.
But we also need to get price. Right. Why don't you try to select
More than 5 times.
category ID? So we do have a category ID right here.
This should be only one, right?
Okay, so none of these are greater than 5
And then we group by category ID.
for my table.
And then that's what I'm getting to, I'm getting multiple, only one involved per person wide.
1 5 versus 1. That's not what we're getting. I'm for sure getting. But I'm not getting anything where the suppliers bring more than 1 product, that's not. Well, more than 5 to them. Like some don't have 5, but not, there's some of them offers more than 5.
So
Yes.
it's simplified,
Okay.
so it's done equal.
Yeah, it's just the
Yeah.
slide where it doesn't say. Just slide more than 5 products.
And
Then it would be none of them. Lines of two.
So it'd probably be the list.
so it's okay.
I think that's what he wants to see.
And once you
I would-
finish
That would be spread, yeah.
5 questions, and then go back to.
So the question,
Okay. The reason why we need to join the table, do the one.
It's better, I guess it's better for you to see the whole picture.
Yes, yeah, that, because why not, if you only tell me the ID, actually, I don't know, I don't hear the ID. And it's not helpful at all, like, if I see the category ID, what's the meaning of what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I better to tell you which category exactly, then it will be better. But how can you get that category from the ID? That make you join the table. Okay, because if you cannot find the information from this table, then maybe adding other columns. Then if you need to add other columns to your SQL, then you need to that's what you do.
This will be the first question.
Okay.
I was like, I have 100%. So,
Yeah, okay, good. And sometimes like here is for the presentation, if you say you can't all the ID, okay, so right here. How can I tell them what this means? Like you just have a column. So in vector to give me a vector name for this column. Okay, it's not right. But how can I change the? I mean, we so actually, come back line is pretty nice. Yes, yes.
If you just get this, just put 5 and go. This, how many did you get?
okay, I have some progress. So right now, I can list each supplier and how much products they've sold. Like they've offered.
I've already like completed that. It's on the third question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already completed it, just.
Yep.
At least this, I don't think any of these supply more than 5. I'm waiting on the list, is that right? Is that a trick question? At least I was.
Yes, empty.